Fed Chair Powell says soft landing will be challenging, calls for crypto regulation. The chair of the U.S. Central Bank was challenged by senators on Wednesday on issues including inflation and crypto regulation. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell told Congress that the U.S. Central Bank must go ahead and keep raising interest rates to get inflation down, even if that means the economy faces higher unemployment and a potential for recession. Look, we run on debt. That is what's happening here. They're running on debt. That's the only way that they can basically stay alive. And by they, I mean the nation state, I mean banks. That is what's going on here. And it's important to realize that everything that everybody's been telling you about inflation not being a thing, a recession not coming, that sort of thing. Once again, like we just stated with the Bitcoin mining thing, the FUD versus fact, except I guess you could say that the fact here is a little bit more fuddy in this particular case. They want to make you think that there's no such thing as inflation or recession coming so they can keep pumping money into the machine. And that is exactly what we see, right? Everything that they tell us about a recession not coming, inflation not coming, it's clear to me, and maybe I'm incorrect, and you can let me know in the comment section, that a potential recession is coming, probably a recession, and that interest rates are going to go high and inflation is going to be out of control. And we are going to be paying $10 a gallon for gas. That's what it looks like to me. During a hearing before the Senate Banking Committee on Wednesday, Powell said that the soft landing is going to be very challenging and that a recession is certainly a possibility. I think it's pretty much going to be confirmed at this point. John Kennedy called Powell the most powerful man in the world right now. We are not trying to provoke and do not think we will need to provoke a recession, but we do think it's absolutely essential that we restore price stability, really for the benefit of the labor market as much as anything else, he said. Inflation is still running at a 4-decade high of 8.6% in May, a new high that surprised economists, traders, and even Fed officials. Powell said that the Fed will continue to raise interest rates until it sees a clear sign that inflation is cooling down. Financial conditions have already priced in additional rate increases, but we need to go ahead and have them, he said. The federal funds rate is currently in a range between 1.5 and 1.75%, but revised projections by Fed officials last week showed that the rate is expected to go up to 3.25 to 3.5%. It's 2 points. 3 senators, including Cynthia Lummis, Kristen Sinema, and Sherrod Brown, challenged Powell with questions on crypto, specifically regulation, accounting treatment of digital assets, and the current crash in the crypto market. We are tracking those events very carefully, said Powell, but the central bank is not really seeing significant macroeconomic implications so far. He also repeatedly highlighted that there's need for better regulatory framework for crypto. The same activity should have the same regulation no matter where it appears. And that isn't the case right now because a lot of the digital finance products in some ways are quite similar to products that have existed in the banking system or the capital markets, but they're just not regulated in the same way, he said. So we need to do that. Like I've said before, you can call a spade, just don't come take my spade away, and we're all good. As far as regulations of digital assets, we've talked about this before. Like, it's going to be near impossible for anybody to regulate this at the end of the day. As far as cryptocurrency as a whole, you can regulate it once it hits the point of participating in traditional economies, right? You can do it once it hits the banks, etc. Once it hits the fiat systems. But even then, it's pretty complicated with, products like the centralized exchanges like crypto.com and Coinbase, etc. You're going to have your KYC, you're going to be able to track taxes and so on. But to be able to track and regulate the entire industry of cryptocurrency will be near impossible, at least in my humble opinion. And then you'll see a dissolution of the nation states and smaller economies kind of pop out. I think you'll just have parallel side economies, side chains essentially going on within cryptocurrency. And they'll make their own rules. They won't be adhere to the rules necessarily of traditional finance. And I think that is something that will come maybe in 10 years, maybe in 50 years, but I think that is coming down the pipeline. And I get a lot of that from, of course, the book, The Sovereign Individual. So I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.